There's quite a few Dragoons now out in the field for Rang, actually adding up cannons inside of his main, looks like it is natural as well, adding a 5th gateway. He's just macroing up, trying to put down some cannons to protect himself, just in case some vultures actually manage to get through. New base coming up from Nada a little bit late, so he's actually could be a little bit economically behind at this point. He's going to be a base behind for a while. And we're going to see actually what this new drop tick actually manages to save him or not. He has quite a few vultures moving up towards the north now, and they are going to be ready in time for that dropship to come out. So he's going to go full drop. We're going to see he's actually not going to send several vultures towards the upper left, most likely just so they don't get spotted. Sends one vulture up as a possible decoy. Observer and shuttle still moving around for Harang, and now Nada's actually going to move to the north with his dropship. Okay, so he's going to start off by ferrying several vultures. Actually gonna pick up more just right away. There is one single cannon there. The vultures are going to start off going inside, going to kill a lot of probes, get several probes to start right off. One vulture instantly, 2 vultures instantly die. We're going to see whether Nada actually tries to drop even more. Has 2 just going inside, spotting the Stargate that's coming up, putting down 2 mines. So Harang now, I'm sorry, thinking of going for Arbiter attack. 1 mine, almost hitting Dragoon. Beautiful micro there by Harang. Still more mines to be put down. 1 single vulture left alive. Observer out in the field, so not really much else going to be accomplished here by Nada. Killed several probes, harassed the gas mining. Should have been able to accomplish a little bit more, but just lost his vultures very quickly. Still has his vultures just running around, just trying to keep Harang inside of his base by harassing, just trying to be all annoying with his vultures, instantly moving them back, losing 1 as he spots that heavy Dragoon line. Has several tanks on the field, just now floating his command center to take his 3rd. So yeah, Nada has the right idea so far. Just I'm a base behind. I need to do some economic damage. That's basically the thinking you got to go with. Adding in more gateways and an Arbiter Tribunal now for Harang, so he's going to be getting his Arbiter up, and he's a little bit faster in tech, I gotta say. Has a beautiful block on his 3rd base. Still has quite a large number of Dragoons on the field. Doesn't really have much in the way of Zealots. He's probably going to be able to get those fairly soon. And still has Dark Templar actually now attacking the upper right-hand scan, going off for Nada to instantly kills the Dark Templar as it was attacking Nada's 3rd base. Tanks and turrets in position everywhere by Nada, and a turret actually shooting an Observer here. Observer getting killed as it was spotting the positioning of Nada's. Still not a lot of vultures down the field for Nada. He's just going to continue using those as sort of harassing force, and they're of course going to come in handy once he needs those in huge battles. Zeus Claw's base now being put down by Harang, so he's just going to continue trying to pump out a economic advantage. Still has its shuttle running around, going to try to do some sort of damage with it. Just I gotta say, Harang too, he's not been able to prove himself too well these days with standard play. Almost gets his shuttle killed. Almost, barely could try to run. Okay, is gonna go with 1 single Dark Templar. 2 Dark Templar, not really accomplishing much. Scan goes off and kills both of them, and the shuttle just sits around there, almost dead uselessly. Because if it takes 1 or 2 more turret shots, it's gone down. Target now getting the first Arbiter out. Now it's all gonna come down to what Harang 2 managed to do with his. He's economically ahead. Macro-wise, he's definitely ahead. He's gonna be able to have a lot more troops out in the field. I'm looking forward to see. Should have a lot of more Zealots fairly soon out there, and as soon as he has a huge number of Zealots alongside some Dragoons, all of his Dragoons he has alongside some Arbiters to help him, he's going to be able in a pretty good position. Now actually Harang has the Dragoons moving up to the north, spotting where the Stargate used to be. Hey, white folks from the hippie era? Interesting. Time travel! People time travel to the future to watch StarCraft. That is how epic it is. People in the past know that StarCraft shall exist when they decide to come to the future. Actually, some probes being killed! Oh, not with perfect time with vultures. Oh man, manages to catch even more probes as they're being ferried. Okay, sacrifices several vultures for that, but still managed to get several probe kills. What the heck is wrong with my tongue today? Probes skills. Blah. Probe's skills are many. But yeah, just Harang still trying to keep his economic advantage. Vultures of Nada is now going to go towards the 6 o'clock base and start attacking more probes. Trying to keep out the reach of that cannon, but overall they're going to get killed. Weapons 1 upgrade now ready for Nada and Harang as well. Both players in that regard equal. Whoa! 2 control groups of Zealots. Just there you go. Even more gateways. So I think at this point Harang is at 12 gateways, most likely by this point. His main almost mined out, so it's very smart of him keeping up with bases. Nada's still only at 3, while Harang's at 4, so Nada... you can see just by the amount of troops he has on the ground, Nada does not have quite as many. He has a lot of vultures running around, but he really needs another base. He needs to take his 12 o'clock. Or else he's going to be a lot of trouble. Arbiter coming up. We're going to see whether this is going to be a recall or what. He seems to be Seems to be a lot of forces. Okay, just moving out. Whether they grouped out or not, I can't quite tell. Second Arbiter out in the field as well. And actually going to be a battle here just outside of Nada's natural expansion. I'm not quite sure if he has enough for this. A lot of Zealots running in with Arbiter support. A lot of Zealots. Not nearly enough Vultures to help support. All the Zealots running in. More Vultures trying to come in for support. The Dragoons instantly following up. A lot of the tanks being killed as they try to blast away the Zealots. Most of the Zealots at this point have died. And, okay, Harang 2 still has a lot of Dragoons helping in to come in for support. Stasis going off, hitting several tanks. Nada, though, has done a beautiful job of layering all of his tanks so that, you know, you kill a couple, but while you do so, you take a lot of shots. Of course, beautiful standard StarCraft tank layering, but now Harang instantly, gets some of his Dragoons melted by mines, walking right into those, apparently lost his observers, but is going to move towards that upper right hand, and this is one of very critical locations for Nada. He cannot afford to lose the base at this point. He has to be very careful not to lose his command center. Is floating it away, taking very heavy concentrated Dragoon fire. The command center could actually go down. The command center is going to go down, and Nada is in a very bad position. Very bad position. Is going to be able to attack these Dragoons as they run around. It does hold back the attack pretty well. Instantly rebuilds his command center, but he's so economical behind. Harang 2 has established his 5th base at the lower right hand. Nada still sitting just at 2 bases at this point, and he's lost so many forces. Harang 2 is going to be able to reinforce instantly. He has High Templar out in the field as well. So many Zealots already instantly ready to run out. We're going to see whether he tries to wait a little bit or just instantly go for it right away, because Nada doesn't even really have much in the way of support. He has to, most likely can't build anything but Vultures at this point. Has Vultures finally gone around trying to finish off that Temple Archives. I believe this is something Nada should have done ages ago. Sent out, you know, a second lone Vulture to send a couple of his Vultures when he was maybe harassing his main. When he was harassing Harang's main, I honestly think he should have been able to use a couple of those Vultures to finish off that Temple Archives, maybe continue damaging those buildings. You know, taking out the Temple Archives is a delay. It's a delay you want to force upon your enemy. Even more gateways being added in by Harang, and there you go, he's rebuilding his Temple Archives, completely ready for that. So you can tell just by the number of gateways he has and the amount of reinforcements he has coming in always, how economically ahead he is. I'm not really seeing that much coming from Nada. Still, it doesn't have that large number. Harang going in for, again, Vultures, not a lot of Vultures. Tanks trying to respond. Command center sitting in a vulnerable position, adding in a sort of blocking building. Scans going off everywhere. Arbiters being hit by turrets, but still we're going to see what actually manages against it. Stasis off on several tanks. Storms coming off on the other tanks, and not in a bad position. Is actually killed a lot of forces that Harang has sent his way. Harang doesn't seem to have very good army control at this point. Lost an observer there as well. Several Zealots. Oh, my mind drag, killing a couple of tanks there. Our stasis tanks, and another command center might go down. Tank sieging up just now. Not going to see what actually manages to this. Command center is going to go down. Not was another command center. Oh god, he yet again manages to hold back the onslaught, but such terrible damage, to quote somebody. Oh god. To quote the lead developer of StarCraft 2 and StarCraft 1, I believe, yeah. terrible damage. Oh god, Harang 2 is so economical. Adding in a second gateway, he's going to be able to pump Arbiters en masse. He should actually be able to take even more expansions at the north now. He's completely overexpanding Nada. Not in a horrible position, trying to rebuild his command center yet again. But Harang 2 just couldn't reinforce his army so quick. Zealots running in right past the initial tanks, trying to do some damage. Some of them getting killed. And Harang 2 doesn't really have the most beautiful control of troops, I gotta say. But at this point, he's really sacrificing a lot of them, and not being forced to micro tanks with shuttles. But in a horrible position overall. Templar coming in, storming off, Zealots moving in very close to those tanks, killing more tanks. Nada with almost nothing whatsoever to help himself defend at this point. He's so economically damaged. His main mined out completely at this point. His natural expansion, just very little in his natural expansion at all. Harang has this game. Now he just has to finish this off. Nada can't do anything at this point. He fell behind economically so badly a little bit early when he really shouldn't have. And now he's just going to be completely wiped out here. Some mines going off. Not, of course, with very beautiful micro. Desperately trying to hold himself. But Harang at this point has weapons 2, maybe even 3. Just being able to move in with all of his forces. He's been sacrificing so many, but at this point it doesn't really matter. He has so much. His economy is so strong now. Moving in with Zealots instead of not his main. Getting mine drags. Getting a lot of his own Zealots killed. But, you know, at the same time manages to kill turrets. Oh, Harang loses an Arbiter there, though. Not enough, forcing his SCVs, trying to move them, trying to engage in battle, trying to kill some High Templars. Just violently fighting to the death. Nada being very stubborn. 2-1 upgrades for him, actually. But still, at this point, no real chance of getting back in this game. There are Templars in it. So many High Templar on the way. Forces constantly being produced. GG coming in from Nada, finally. And Harang moves on to the final match here. Oh, God. Well, beautiful game, I gotta say. Started off very, very cheesy. And Nada never really getting back into the game when he had a chance to. It's very interesting. Well, we're going to do, Nada is officially out of the Avalon MSL, you guys, and we're going to see how Harang fares in the final match. So, GG guys, wrenching out. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed.